हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धर्म प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
What is the shloka number?
428,
65
65.
प्रभु जी।
बर्हिस्मानेत आद्यात्मन् पारोक्षेण प्रदर्शितम् यत्प्रो परोक्षा प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः
भगवान् विश्वभावनः
बर्हिस्मन् एतदध्यात्मन् पारोक्षेण प्रदर्शितम् यत्परोक्षा प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः बर्हिस्मन् एतदध्यात्मन् पारोक्षेण प्रदर्शितम् बर्हिस्मन्नेतदध्यात्मम् पारोक्षेण प्रदर्शितम् यत्परोक्षा प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः बर्हिस्मन् एतदध्यात्मम् पारोक्षेण प्रदर्शितम् यत्परोक्षा प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः
बर्हिष्मन्येतद् अध्यात्मम् पारोक्षेण प्रदर्शितम् यत्परोक्ष प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः
बहिष्मन्येतदध्यात्मं
परोक्षेण प्रदर्शितं
यत्परोक्ष प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावना बहिष्मन्येतदध्यात्मं
आरोक्षेण प्रदर्शितं
यत्परोक्ष प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः बहिष्मन्येतदध्यात्मं पारोक्षेण प्रदर्शितं यत्परोक्ष प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः।
Yes, online you want to chant?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धर्म प्रणाम। बहिष्मनेतद् अध्यात्मं पारोक्षेण प्रदर्शितं यत्परोक्ष प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः। हरे कृष्ण
हरे
प्रभु जी,
कृष्ण प्रभु जी। बहिष्ठाने तदध्यात्मं परोक्षेण प्रदर्शितं यत्परोक्ष प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावन। हरे कृष्ण
प्रभु जी। बहिष्मन्येतदध्यात्मं पारोक्षेण प्रदर्शितं यत्परोक्ष प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः। हरे कृष्ण
प्रभु जी। बरिस्मन् एतत् अध्यात्मं परोक्षेण प्रदर्शितं
यत्परोक्ष प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। बर्हिष्मान् एतदध्यात्मम् पारोक्येन प्रदर्शितम् यत्परोक्षा प्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः। हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। बहिष्मे प्रत्य अद्या प्रयोक्षेण प्रदिशितम् यत्प्रोक्ष प्रियो देवो भगवान विश्वभावना। हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Thank you. Barishman, O King Prachina Barhi, Etat, this Adhyatmam, narration of self-realization, Parokshena, indirectly, Pradashitam, instructed, Yat, because, Paroksha, Priyaha, interesting by indirect description. Devaha, the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan, the Personality Godhead, Vishwabhavanaha, the cause of all causes. Mighty King Prachina Bari, the Supreme Personality Godhead, the cause of all causes, is celebrated to be known indirectly. Thus I have described the story of Puranjana to you. Actually, it is an instruction for self-realization.
Hare Krishna. Perfect. There are many similar stories in the Puranas for self-realization. As stated in the Vedas, Paroksha Priya Ivahi Devaha. There are many stories in the Puranas that are intended to interest ordinary men in transcendental subjects, but actually these refer to real facts. They are not to be considered stories without a transcendental purpose. Some of them refer to real historical facts. One should be interested, however, in the real purport of the story. Indirect instruction is quickly understandable for a common man. Factually, the path of Bhakti Yoga is a path of hearing directly about the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. But those who are not interested in hearing directly about the activities of the Lord, or who cannot understand them, can very effectively hear such stories and fables as this one was narrated by Narada Muni. The following is a glossary of some of the important words in this chapter. Adeshakari, the actions resulting from sinful activities, Agastya, the mind, Amatya, the governor of the senses, the mind, Arbuda, various types of Shravana and Kirtana of the Supreme Lord's name, quality, form, and so on. Ari, impediments like disease, Bhogha, enjoyment, here in this word refers to real enjoyment in spiritual life. Britya, the servants of the body, namely the senses. Dravida Raja, devotional service or a person eligible to act in devotional service. Dwara, the doors of the body such as the eyes and ears. Griha, home. For spiritual cultivation, one requires an undisturbed place or the good association of devotees. Idmavaha, the devotee who approaches the spiritual master. Idma refers to the wood that is taken to burn as fuel for a fire. A brahmachari is supposed to take this idma to ignite the fire used in performing sacrifices. By spiritual instruction, a brahmachari is trained to ignite a fire and offer oblations in the morning. He is supposed to go to the spiritual master to take lessons on transcendental subject matter, and the Vedic injunction is that when approaching the spiritual master, one must carry with him fuel to perform yagnas or sacrifices. The exact Vedic injunction is as follows. तद्विघ्नार्थं स गुरुम् एवाभिगच्छेत् समित्पाने श्रोतियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठम्. To learn transcendental subject matter, one must approach the spiritual master. In doing so, he should carry fuel to burn in sacrifice. The symptom of such a spiritual master is that he is expert in understanding the Vedic conclusion, and therefore he constantly engages in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Manduka Upanishad 1.2.12. By serving such a bona fide spiritual master, gradually a conditioned soul becomes detached from material enjoyment and invariably makes progress in spiritual realization under the direction of the spiritual master. Those who are misled by the illusionary energy are never interested in approaching a spiritual master to make life successful. Jaya, intelligence. Jeerna Sarpa, the fatigue air of life. Kala Kanya, the invalidity of old age. Kama, a fever, a high fever. Kulachala, the place where there is no disturbance. Kutumbini, intelligence. Madirekshana, Madirekshana refers to one whose eyes are so attractive that one who observes them becomes maddened by her. In other words, Madirekshana means a very beautiful young girl. According to Jiva Goswami, Madirekshana means the personified deity of bhakti. If one is attracted by the bhakti cult, he becomes entangled in the service of the Lord and the spiritual master, and thus his life becomes successful. Vaidarbhi, the woman, became a follower of her husband. As she left her comfortable home for the service of her husband, a serious student of spiritual understanding must give up everything for the service of the spiritual master. As stated by Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura, Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasaraha. If one wants actual success in life, he must strictly follow the instructions of the spiritual master. By following such instructions, one is sure to make rapid progress in spiritual life. This statement by Vishwanatha Chakravarti is in pursuance of the following injunction from Shveteshvatara Upanishad 6.23. Yasya deve para bhaktir yata deve tata gurau tasyaiti katitahi artaha prakashante mahatmanaha. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. In the Chandogya Upanishad, it is said, Acharyavan Purusho Veda. One who approaches a bona fide spiritual master can understand everything about spiritual realization. Malayadvaja, a nice devotee who is like sandalwood. Panchala, the five sense objects. Parichhada, the total aggregate of the senses. Paurajana, the seven elements that constitute the body. Pautra, patience and gravity. Prajwara, a kind of fever called Vishnu Jwara. Pratikriya, contracting agents such as mantras and medicines. Purupalaka, the life air. Putra, consciousness. Sainika, the condition of threefold miseries. Saptasutta, the seven sons, namely hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, worshipping the deity, and becoming a servant of the Lord. Sauridya, endeavor. Sutta, the son of either be, or in other words, one who is somewhat advanced in fruitive activities and who comes in contact with the devotee spiritual master. Such a person becomes interested in the subject matter of devotional service. Vaidharvi, the woman who was formerly a man but took birth as a woman in his next life because of too much attachment to women. Darbha means kushagras. In fruitive activities or karma kandiya ceremonies, one requires kushagras. Thus, Vaidharbi refers to one who takes birth in a family of karma kandiya understanding. However, if by karma kanda activities one by chance comes in contact with a devotee, a Vaidharbi, as Vaidharbi did when she married Malyadvaja, his life becomes successful. He then pursues the devotional service of the Lord. The conditioned soul becomes liberated simply by following the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master. Vidarbha Raja Simha, the best of persons who are expert in fruitive activities. Virya, one who has mercy. Yavana, the servant of Yamaraja. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 28th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Puranjana becomes a woman in the next life. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunavadi Pashat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are ahead of time today. We can do a little more Shravanam. Chapter 29, प्राचीनवरि उवाच भगवान् ते वचो अस्माभिः
भगवान्
न सम्यक् अवगम्यते
सम्यक् अवगम्यते
यस्तत् विजानन्ति
अविद्यन्ति
न वयं कर्म मोहितः.
न वयं कर्म मोहितः.
King Prachita replied, "My dear Lord, we could not appreciate completely the purport of your allegorical story of King Puranjana. Actually, those who are perfect in spiritual knowledge can understand. But for us who are overly attached to fruitive activity, to realize the purpose of your story is very difficult."
Purport. In Bhagavad Gita 7.13, Lord Krishna says, Tridhir gunamai bhavai ebi sarvam idam jagat mohitam na bijanati mamebhya paramavyayam. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Generally, people are enchanted by the three modes of material nature and therefore practically unable to understand that behind all materialistic activities in the cosmic manifestation is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Generally, when people are engaged in sinful or pious activities, they are not perfect in knowledge of devotional service. The allegorical story narrated by Narada Muni to King Mahishman is especially meant to engage conditioned souls in devotional service. The entire story, narrated allegorically, is easily understood by a person in devotional service, but those who are engaged not in devotional service but in sense gratification cannot perfectly understand it. That is admitted by King Mahishman. This 29th chapter describes that by too much attachment for women, one becomes a woman in the next life, but a person who associates with the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his representative becomes free from all material attachments and is thus liberated. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama. Prachina Bari Uvacha Bhagavamste Vacho Asmabihi Na Samyak Avagamyate Kavayastat Vijananti Navayam Karma Mohitaha. King Prachina Bari replied, "My dear Lord, we cannot appreciate completely the purport of your allegorical story of King Puranjana. Actually, those who are perfect in spiritual knowledge can understand, but for us who are overly attached to fruitive activity, to realize the purpose of your story is very difficult." Audio is clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Prabhupada, in the various elements he has taken of the story, actually we should read the story again now and we should identify each element. Because sometimes when you are reading the story we were doubtful what is what referring to. So when you read the story now with this list, you should be able to actually understand what meant what, the whole story. So Prabhupada explains this, that generally there is no need to tell a allegorical story. We can directly hear Krishna Katha. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. We can directly hear Krishna Katha. But sometimes these stories are also known as fables. Fables. Just like in that, when in collaboration with ISKCON, what do you call, the Ambani company, they made the little Krishna. Unfortunately, they write in the beginning fable. That's not fable. Many people take the pastimes of the Lord which are given in the scripture to be some fable only. General understanding, it is also some fable. Fable means allegorical story. Like, एक घोड़ा था, फिर एक राजा ने ये बोला, घोड़े ने ये बोला. We know horse don't speak, tigers don't speak. But in childhood we hear many stories like that. They carry some message. Main thing of the story, because they are allegorical story, there is nothing to stretch more and all. But they carry some message. So many people feel that Bhagavad Gita is also an allegorical story. All the Shastra is also an allegorical story, particularly the Mayavadis. Then how do you convince them? How do you convince? Now here there is a story by Puranjana, a story by Narada of Puranjana to Prachinapari king, also known as Bharisman. And now this is an allegorical story. So everything may be an allegorical story. How do you know? Anybody can tell, how do you know? Now here it is directly, this is an allegorical story. Once there was a person called Puranjana, very difficult to understand, maybe a real story. So how do you come to know? Bhagavad Gita means...
By the teller himself, as mother tells about the father in the similar fashion, if the teller himself tells that yes, it is the allegorical story, then it is. The way mother tells that he is the father, then the father, he is the father.
Yes. Okay. See, the point is this. Nowhere Krishna says this is an allegorical story. When he is talking to Arjuna, or this narration where Krishna says to Arjuna, you cannot understand whether it will be original or the allegorical story. We can't understand. The author, Krishna never says to Arjuna, this is an allegorical story. Vedavyasa doesn't say when he's writing it, it's an allegorical. I will tell an allegorical story that the Krishna and Arjuna, there is no Krishna, there is no Arjuna, this refers to your mind and body. It can be taken like that. In fact, even in Bhagavad Gita, Acharyas also taken allegorical meaning, but that is secondary. The primary meaning is taken first. Like the five senses, Pandava, this is also taken by Madhvacharya. But the first meaning, he doesn't deny the first meaning. The first meaning is first. That actually, yes, Arjuna was there, Krishna was there, and we have a direct meaning. Sometimes, just like Krishna killed so many demons in the Krishna book. There is the allegorical meaning also of that. But we don't deny the direct meaning first. You got it? All the demons actually represent different kind of vasanas within our heart. It refers to that. There is allegorical meaning taken by acharyas of that also. But it doesn't mean that the direct meaning is denied. You got it? The real story can have both the direct meaning and also allegorical meaning. It is possible. But it's not that we deny the original meaning. So how we are going to know? Shri Radha Govinda ki. Exactly like we told the example of Mohini Murti. Now Mohini Murti gave nectar to the Devatas, but to the Danavas, Mohini Murti did not give one drop of nectar. Both were sitting. So Shastra also behaves like Mohini Murti. It will give you nectar, but not give you nectar. Like we have personal experience when you read the Shastra or you chant Hare Krishna. Some people get the taste. So what is the proof that they got the taste? They constantly whole day want to, full of energy, want to serve the Lord. They tax their body to serve the Lord because taste has come now. When there is a taste of the Nava Angas, beginning with Shravanam, other Angas will automatically start. There is a taste developed. Any service person will do very carefully because now he has developed devotion service. Bhakti means devotion service. So devotion service that developed within the heart, the person will be very, very eager to serve the Lord. That is the meaning the taste has developed. So now, in the parampara, this taste of service to Krishna is brought down. Only in the parampara. Otherwise, outside the parampara, this taste of service to Krishna, bhakti, you cannot get without the parampara. Just like all of us also were doing some kind of puja patha, we were all doing. But until we came to touch the parampara, we didn't get the pleasure of service to Krishna. It was of some kind of a karma kanda ritual, we were doing something. We did not even know in the altar there are so many gods. Who is supreme among them? None of us knew that. All of us had that. But when he came in touch with the parampara, you notice this, it was not just an information. The joy of serving Krishna, we got access to that. So, therefore, the nectar is carried, a Mohini Murti, represented by Guru Parampara. It carries the nectar. There is a general saying in ISKCON, after Diksha, you will fly. See, the structure of ISKCON is very unique. Unique the structure that previously if we have to touch a parampara, where the Guru will be? In some ashram. Somewhere in Himalayas or some holy place. He will be in some holy place. You have to travel. You go take darshan and then you offer your obeisance. That's why it is mentioned. You should samit paniya shotiyam brahmanishtam. You should carry some wood when you approach a spiritual master, because that time yagna generally was part of spiritual life. So therefore in that context it is a carry wood. Now you have to carry a bead bag. So you go, you pay obeisances, and then what do? He gives you the mantra. What he gives you? He gives you the mantra to chant. He gives you spiritual knowledge after that, and you hear him. But ISKCON is very, instructions and even chanting is done after taking Diksha. You don't chant before. It is after. Before the 5 principles which are given in Bhagavad Gita, Purusharya, that is of purification. We should not be, we should be humble, we should not be proud, we should not do himsa, adam bittam amanitvam, this list of 5 things are there. And then finally, you are not doing himsa to other living entity, you are humble and you approach a spiritual master. Then he gives you the mantra to chant, and then he gives you instructions for spiritual life. This is the general practice. So all the shlokas have to be seen in that context. Tasmat Guru Prabhaddeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. Guru, you must approach a spiritual master. Correct? And then your spiritual life begins. You actually fly because he gives you the pleasure of service to Krishna. You fly. He gives you the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Now you see the interesting fact is, you are meeting also a spiritual master. Now in an interesting fact, Srila Prabhupada has created an institution. And then when a person, when he enters the temple, he gives Japmala. Please chant. We are not going to wait for Diksha. And in fact, Chaitanya Charitamrita says the holy name does not wait for Diksha. You start giving mercy immediately if somebody starts chanting. And we can see that already we have started flying. You're chanting Hare Krishna, our heart is getting purified, you have started obeying the rules and regulations given by the Acharya, you're finding benefit by that. True? Now the Diksha becomes a formal contract. It becomes a commitment. Yes, I will follow. Commitment. And Acharya says, You are developing a relationship now. Yes, I'll take care. Now personally, not that he has his systems, you can always approach him personally, but otherwise the systems are set. So this is a must approach. Tasmad Guru Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shaya Uttamam. So therefore Prabhupada translates this as Prapadyeta, referring to that must, there is no option. Now if you look at that in this material world today, you see that even big scientists or society in general, and society, scientists in particular, everybody is actually trying to know the truth. That quest is there. Everybody has to small or bigger degree, but the difference is some people are approaching the right place, some people are not approaching the right place. They are not following the proper process, and therefore the result is not there. Correct? We can see that there is no result today. People do not have. A person who has a bona fide spiritual master, Prabhupada says, knows things as they are. Bhagavad Gita itself. Okay? But we see the society, we do not see people. So therefore, just like Vidura is traveling, so many people are there. He is not sitting and taking instruction from them. He is trying to meet a bona fide spiritual master. And finally he meets Uddhava. Wow. He hears him. He feels so blissful. And then he meets Maitreya. And he gets even more blissful. And he takes instruction from Maitreya and for his spiritual life. So this principle we see is everywhere. We see the whole Vedic literature is nothing but discussion between Guru and disciple. Correct? The whole Vedic literature. It is a form of a discussion. We have Krishna instructing Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, and in the Bhagavatam we have so many personalities. Hey, Narada Muni is now instructing King Prachinabhari. One must approach. Now otherwise, if you do not approach, what is going to be there? Speculation. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu identified this is the biggest mistake in trying to understand spiritual life, and that is today. Okay. Most of the people, you say, what is your conception of God? Somebody went to that rich man, Musk. What is your conception of God? Yeah, Creator should be there because he wants to speak something aligned with, American philosophy of Christianity. Yes, that's some. We see beautiful creation, he speaks something. But then he speaks now more. How does the person look? How does the person, where does he stay? What are his activities? And then how we have to approach him? How we should connect ourselves to the Lord? No knowledge, not available. And person thinks he can speak on everything just because he has money. It's not that this information is not needed, nobody has presented. Therefore, distributing Prabhupada books is so important. This is a month of marathon. Always leave people with Prabhupada books. Prabhupada knows how to convince people. Okay? What do? When you meet people, you try to take to some senior, please Prabhuji instruct him. So he's the best instructor, Srila Prabhupada, take to him. So always a good preaching should end with Srila Prabhupada books. He's the founder Acharya. And if somebody develops faith in Srila Prabhupada, he'll become a great well-wisher of the movement, always wishing well, a beautiful movement. So this must approach is part of it. So therefore we have to somehow connect people to this Srila Prabhupada movement. Must. Somehow we have to connect. And once the person is connected, the rest of the things will automatically start. Correct? People come to the temple, there's so many visitors. Yes, we should have I heard in Chennai temple very nicely, they have 2-3 devotees. Always when a visitor comes, make him chant. And the 15 years they're doing that, and they say we have built a huge congregation by that. Just by simple. People are already coming in now. They come, they say why don't you chant? Otherwise they come, who you talk, they talk, they have prasadam and they go away, no knowledge. That will not help. Then 100 years also we see that the temple does not develop congregation. People come, automatically Krishna is sending people, they are coming. Yes, moment somebody enters the door, just watch. Some are pious, they sit down, yes. Why don't you chant? Very easily they agree to chant. Okay, Now then next step, next step, next step. They start, take a japa box, okay, very good. Then the next step, we invite them for special classes because suddenly they cannot attend Gita Bhagavatam. They started chanting. And then step, and that's this matter of time, the person becomes a very nice devotee. So we must, so person who is not even coming to the temple, you can somehow attract by going to him. Some people are fortunate, they come, the temple is there. Actually in the temple visitors are coming, some are very good candidates to become wonderful devotees. So many people who are coming. But our objective should be that somebody should be there. Therefore my request is 1 to 4 when the temple is closed, we may not be there in the temple hall. Other time what we are doing? Maybe I can shut off the electricity everywhere else so that people can sit in the temple hall. Yahin pe pankha hai bhai. So people come, they watch you, you are chanting, they get inspired, then you can preach to them, then the people develop in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise people will come and go, 100 trillion people will come and go, nobody will become devotee. It is just time waste. But the very purpose of the temple is lost. What is the purpose we make temple? Sometimes we forget that. We make temple and then get lost in the anxiety of maintenance. That is not then the better we not have made a temple itself. Temple is made for only one purpose. People come and then we introduce them to Krishna consciousness. Here we have to go, here when a temple is there, automatically people are coming. But when they come, we have to, the first work, make them chant. Shravanam is the way they will become devotee. We sometimes forget how we became devotee. Sometimes we forgot how we became devotee. Sometimes we forgot what was the main element for us, Shravanam. That is the first anga of devotional service, but he is not getting chance even to hear. Then what's the whole purpose? Then the whole thing becomes not so useful. So one must approach. So Brahma also, when he is, that's a discussion, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramananda Raya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, how do we approach the Supreme Lord? What we should do in Kali Yuga? So Ramananda Raya said we should completely surrender to the Lord, Saradharman Parityaj. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, that is external. Just giving up everything and surrendering may not be practical for everybody. It's good, but may not be. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Iye bhaya. This is external, this is not the main thing. This is external behavior. In Kali Yuga, not everybody will be able to give up everything and join the temple. It's not practically possible for everybody. And that is just an external behavior. Somebody can physically give everything, but actually is not eager to serve the Lord. What is more important is not the external, the internal. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected her. The next Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, okay, tell me something more. Then Rama Raya says, Yat karosi, yat juhosi, yat dadasi, whatever you do, just do for the Supreme Lord. Now this is also not practically possible for everybody. Correct? People are entangled in the society in so many ways. Chaitanya said, this is external. Please tell me something more. And then famous statement, he says, the Brahma statement, who know this, Tane Sita Shrutikatan Tanuva Manovi. Yeah.
Jnane prayasamudapasya namanta eva jivanti shanmukharita bhavatiya varta sthane stita shrutigatam tanuvang manovi eprayasho ajita jitopya sistaistilokyan.
Very good. Sthane Sita Shrutigatan Tanuva Manovi. It says, Jnane prayasa. See, what is the understanding most of the people are having? Jnane prayasa. By their own speculation, they try to understand how the absolute truth is. No? Sometimes what happens that we know what is Krishna consciousness, but we are not able to follow. Like Srila Prabhupada, not even a fraction of second was getting wasted. Every second he was using to expand, get more and more people in Krishna consciousness. Every second. But we see we are so far away from that principle. How much far? Very, very far away from that principle. Correct? Not far away? Very, very far away. Therefore, I feel whatever time we should just sit in the temple hall. A meeting though, do in the temple hall only. Because the time is wasted. So much time is wasted. I personally look at myself. Hours and hours are wasted. So, what you will understand about the spiritual subject matter by speculation, you cannot. Udapasya namanta eva, become humble. So, we know what is the principle of Krishna consciousness, but it is so difficult to follow. Keep hearing. Keep hearing. Hearing again and again will develop realizations. Correct? First time, just like you see that King Prachinabari has heard the whole allegory from Narad Muni. Correct? He has heard. He said, no. Explain again. I want to read again. So therefore, we should keep reading Srila Prabhupada books again and again. Samajh aa gaya philosophy. How much you are following, that is more important. You hear again, you read again. Prachinabari, he knows. First quality is that very respectfully he is hearing. He has done the first business, so he must hear. Narad Muni came to him, he didn't say, hey Narad Muni, I am busy now, I have some sense gratification to do. No. He took an opportunity. He was actually a Punyatma. Prachinabari was not, Narad Muni will not waste time. He is meeting somebody valuable. He is a very Punyatma, but in all the Punyas he has forgotten the real business of Krishna consciousness. He is doing yagnas. Yagnas is Punya. He is doing all around the world karmakandiya yagnas. Doing so many karmakandiya yagnas he is doing. There are so many pious people, you see that very nicely. But he has not heard about the beauty of devotion service. He has not. He is doing lot of yagnas from the Shastra. Then what happens? Then immediately after that, that is over. So we will do this principle from today. Not going to room or any office at all. Sit in the temple hall. I want to see what people do from morning till to night till the aarti. क्या करते क्या हैं लोग? टाइम कैसे काट रहे? मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है. करेक्ट? टेम्पल हॉल में बैठा है. कहीं नहीं जाने का. प्रसाद लिया टेम्पल हॉल में बैठा. दिखता भी नहीं आदमी कर क्या रहा है. करेक्ट? व्हाट यू से? कहीं नहीं जाने का. पुजारी मतलब भगवान के सामने बैठने का. आरती हुई भूल हो गए. कहाँ गए पता नहीं. ये क्या हो रहा है? Everybody should. Visitors आते हैं. Some very big person प्रभु जी brought it. So many important people come. कोई नहीं बोलने. देख क्यों निकल. So what is the use then? What is the use of making a temple? इससे तो टेम्पल बना. अब नाउ वी मेंटेन कैसे करें? तो बना मंदिर क्यों बनाया? फिर कोई जरूरत नहीं था ना. वैसे ही अच्छा था. छोटे घर में पूजा करो. शांति. आपको भी शांति. लोगों को भी शांति. So sthane sita shruti-gatam tanuva manobhi. So what is the society trying to do? How they are trying to understand the speculating. इससे क्या समझ आएगा? कुछ नहीं समझ आएगा. And we are fortunate, we heard at least, but how much we are following? कुछ भी follow नहीं कर रहे. How we follow? Here again. And in fact, Prabhupada says my book should be read half a dozen times, 6 times. How? In fact, Guru Maharaj was telling, Prabhupada used to always tell us, any day I will go from this movement. You have to lead the movement. Please read. He said we were reading Srila Prabhupada book day and night. And today we were in Mayapur once, a survey was done. And the meeting was done not of new people who are more than 10 years in the movement. They have ISKCON leadership sangha. So mostly all leaders, either congregation or temple devotees, more than 10 years in the movement. Okay? And now everybody was to give an honest survey. How many times he has read Bhagavad Gita? 1 time. In 10 years, 1 time. That's the average. The the disappointment then roar in the whole assembly. What is this? Well, a person should be reading. At least in a year once he should read Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavatam reading. So when is he reading? So then the result will be, because he is not hearing properly, he will not be following anything. Because this is not material hearing. Just like japa ardhin karna padta hai, baar baar sunna padta hai, then we are actually able to follow. Just like Prachina Bari, sun liya, okay, I heard it now. But where is the behavior? No, I want to hear again. I want to internalize it. I want to understand it. So this will be a very good principle if we can do that. That whole time is engaged. Actually, when people come to temple, they come to see the devotees. लोगों को विग्रह विग्रह समझ नहीं आता in the beginning. कुछ समझ नहीं आता. Actually, people come to see the devotees. They see the devotees, meet them. They feel very happy. They feel very excited. They feel very blissful. है ना? People feel very happy actually to meet the devotee. And they come again and again. Just taking darshan वो साल में एक बार ही आएगा. Because कर्म कांडा वजह से जाना है. आज तो जन्माष्टमी है. आज वैकुंठ एकादशी भगवान का आशीर्वाद. They will come once in a year. वो तो एक साल में एक दो बार ही आएंगे. But moment they feel connected to the devotee, they will come again and again. People are suffering. People are in great anxiety. I remember I used to travel for 2 hours one way. Nothing great, but I remember that. Why? Just to meet the devotees. There was one devotee. His was very jovial. He will always be laughing. And I used to take all my friends, chalo yaar, I'll meet you one person. And his nature was that he will explain Krishna consciousness in such a way, you will start laughing. So pleasantly he used to explain. And just for that, to travel 2 hours all the way, go to the temple, meet him, and take devotees, spend 1 or 2 hours, again 2 hours traveling. So people, just if you saying, temple ban gaya, log darshan ke liye aayega, dobara nahi aayega. He will come after 1 year. Maybe after 2 years. Similarly, in the online courses also, I don't know how much we are doing, but we are not doing well. The devotees who are coming to the class, they should have an opportunity for personal relationship, personal interaction. Then what is going to happen? People feel like part of the course. Everybody should have some service. Then they feel part of the whole attempt that we are having. Okay. So, hearing again and again, one must go. So, Prabhupada said that is the difference between Devatas and Danavas. Devatas, they keep approaching the authority. Just like we had Indra, when he made a mistake with Brahaspati, neglected the presence of a spiritual master. So, they were in great trouble, then Danavas took over everything. So, at that moment, they approached Brahma, what we should do? He said, now you go, you approach, you must approach. And they went to Vishwarupa. And true, that is carrying the wood because that he is doing homa, yagnas. That is the general process of spiritual life. In fact, Srila Prabhupada says, if you do homas in India, a lot of people will come. But then he says, I don't recommend it because there is no spiritual benefit. He says very strong words, all the mantras have now gone to hell. Chant Hare Krishna. He did not recommend. Other than India, very attractive. We can make a big Havana Kunda in the middle of the temple, you see, and your homa is there, a lot of people come. People are attracted. They think that is spiritual life. In fact, somebody or in this community asked, temple mein koi hai jo home kar sakta hai na? Unke liye wahi spiritual life. The Prabhupada said, don't do that. It may be attractive, but there is no practice. A lot of people will come and sit down, but there is not much spiritual benefit. So therefore, we have to give focus ourselves, how we are going to give the benefit of Krishna consciousness to the society. Any other point which was there in the shloka? How come we read till 65 and there are more verses after that? I am getting confused.
Prabhuji, we studied 428, Prabhuji. This is referring to 29.
Okay.
What we finished today is 28.
Thank you. Okay, any question, anything? Yes, Sarita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Sadhu Pranam. Prabhuji, you were mentioning that devotees come, the people come to temple because they get the association of devotees. So this is very true because we have a Bhakti center nearby now. So where what they do when when the new people come, they call out like who are the new people, and then they give one fruit or something as prasad, and then they one Prabhuji, he will go personally and speak to everyone, like who are the all new people. He will speak to them and they will take the numbers and they will add to the group and they will call for the weekly programs. So that way the crowd will increase. So I just
Yes, very nice. Yeah, the Bangalore, this outpost system has gone very wonderfully. Practically in Bangalore itself, there are 40-50 outposts now. And they begin, suppose some area is there is no preaching. So what they do is that they begin by maybe in a temple or somebody's house to start taking program. Then moment they know there are enough people in that area, immediately they take a place on rent, and they start off like this. They have made 40-50 outposts in Bangalore. Very, very effective. In fact, when Guru Maharaj comes to Bangalore, it's like ocean. They have made so many devotees. There are 5-6 temples now, and each is having a congregation of few thousand devotees. Yes. This is connected to which temple? Sheshadipuram or?
no, Akshay Nagar, Prabhuji. It is just 2 kilometers away from me.
No, but it is it's outpost of which temple?
HBR, that temple, HBR layout.
HBR layout.
Yeah.
And I think Sunday they invite to the HBR layout, other days they have program in there.
No, Prabhuji, this is more like something Namhatta or what, like only weekend it will be Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, both Saturday and Sunday. Take it.
Yeah.
Maybe festival time you go to the main temple. Other time we are happy there because Bangalore travel is so much. I think within 10-15.
Even the Govardhan Puja also they did here only, like very nice.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Yes, Shalini Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I just want to understand what is Brahma stage like. It is compared with the sunlight, that third part. One is God, Shri Krishna, Bhagavan, then Paramatma, then Brahma stage. So, Jivatma and Brahma, what is that, Prabhuji? I don't understand.
See, the best example to understand, the three confidential truths are explained in Bhagavad Gita. Number one, we are not the body, we are spirit, soul. Number two is that Paramatma is accompanying us within the heart. And number three, there is a kingdom of God, Vaikuntha. Okay? So the first one is called Brahma. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. It is like on the road we have the light, pole, what we have, electricity pole. and the light is there. Yes, I am light, I am light, I am light, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. The problem is there is no interaction. The person is very much alone. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. In one sense, he is joyful because he has given up sinful activities. Brahman is much better than Sattva-guna. It is because there is no material, any distraction from the material world now, but there are no spiritual activities. Okay? We say Sachit Ananda, Sat is realized, that I am eternal. Okay, that is Brahman situation. Okay?
Ji, Prabhuji. Okay. And Jivatma, Prabhuji, like how to reach? Like we are focusing towards devotional service, but do we have Brahma around us? Any example, like who is at the Brahma stage?
See, when we see the sun, you by the light of the sun you see yourself also. Okay? When approaching the sun, not only you see the sun, you see yourself also from the light of the sun. So similarly, we are approaching Krishna. Automatically, we transcend the modes of nature. The Mayavadis, what they do, they know our goal is to come spiritual, and they battle with the lower modes. No, Tamoguna, no, they keep battling with the lower mode. What is that? Mayavadi. But a devotee, what he does is that he actually transcends the modes by engaging in devotion service. His process is easier. Okay? The Mayavadi is what he is doing, he is battling. He is battling with the three modes. Nahi. Devotee has a positive engagement in service to Krishna. Who knows the shloka? Mamocha Vyavicharena?
Mamchayo avyavicharena yogena sevate sagunan samatityetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
So Agya Brahm. So person is situated in the Brahman platform. How is situated in the Brahman platform? Avyavicharena. Without any diversion, when he is engaged in service to the Lord, without any interruption, constantly when he is situated in service of the Lord, Brahma Bhuya, he will be absorbed in the spiritual platform. That's why we see what is happening in this, the second chapter that's coming. It says the Prachina Barhi, his life was a failure because he was, the Puranjana life was the failure, and then in the next life he was fortunate to be saved because he was overly attracted to woman. For a woman it is man, for man it is woman. The biggest illusion is that we think this world is real when it is a shadow world, and on top of that even bigger illusion is Andhakara Mahandhakara, the relationships in the world are real, and among that the king is sex relationship. We think it is real. It's not real. We know body is not real, relationship is also not real. Therefore put our heart on Krishna. This is the reality. Real reality is Krishna. So the Brahman platform is actually lifted away from that. But because it is not possible in Kali Yuga to situate by mental, therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't recommend it. Previously yogis, you go to the forest and focus on, you cannot not recommend it to stay alone, like even Babaji in Vrindavan. Avyavicharena in the way which is recommended. Continuously be engaged in service to the Lord. Okay? And when the heart is totally purified, then you can just do sitting in a place, you can do Namasmarana. But artificially, when a heart is not free from material desires, if you try to sit down, you will fall down. That's what you'll happen, something like what happened to Puranjana. So many people go to Vrindavan and they think, no, I will just read and I will chant. They fall down. Many devotees do. No, when I become old, I'll just go to Vrindavan, sit down. You cannot do that. You need engagement. Many people they do. In the old age, I'll buy some house in Vrindavan. You need engagement. What you'll do there? No engagement, you'll fall down. No. There is this kind of a tendency. If you have an engagement is what is most important. Avyavicharena. Many of you are also planning what will happen at a later stage of my life. Where I can be engaged. And where you are engaged in service to Krishna, that will be the most auspicious place. Okay? Okay? You will come to Brahman platform by engagement. not by contemplating like the Mayavadis do, neti, neti, neti. That is not the process which will work. What will work is engagement. Okay, that is, we have at this neophyte level of our spiritual life pleasure in engagement, not by contemplation. Not that I look at the deities and the waves of love of Krishna is flowing, I am doing kirtan, waves of love of Krishna is flowing. Continuous engagement. Then we have saved. It's fortunate. In fact, that is true even for materialists, isn't it? I'm busy, I'm busy. Then you are actually blissful. Anna?
Yes.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Guru Maharaj is in Ghargar. So whether we can get an appointment, Prabhuji, for all of our Mangalore devotees, whether one day we can go and
For me itself was so difficult when I went to Chennai. I get some time when they were giving him oxygen, certain time. I got 10-15 minutes to talk about. That is the time I got to inform him of the project that we are developing college, like that. No. You can meet his secretary Mahavara and try. Okay?
Yes.
You can, whoever is there can approach, find out who Mahavara is the secretary, and you request him, Prabhuji. Yeah. But generally, he giving association generally to devotees. He has given yesterday, correct? So you look out when is the time he is giving a public address and take opportunity. Okay? Otherwise, also another thing is that his health is also not so pleasant. So for him it is taxing any engagement. He has big managerial responsibilities. He is practically the senior most Vaishnava now in ISKCON. Continuously things are read out to him. What do we do? What do we do? Continuously. At the same time, within that health, actually, I will just sleep. But he pushes himself to come address devotees, isn't it? He's pushing himself. Bodily pain he has forgotten. A lot of bodily pain is there because a lot of body health. So I think the best is when he is giving lecture, first take advantage of that. Okay?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji. Sadhe pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
pranam.
Krishna, Radha,
Prabhuji, we
Prabhuji, I
got a
have a
chance
question, Prabhuji.
yesterday to meet Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat
Hare
pranam
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we got a chance to meet Guru Maharaj yesterday. We had his darshan and we also met Jannewal's Prabhu, and it was actually by his mercy that we were able to have Guru Maharaj's close darshan Prabhuji yesterday.
Chalo, very nice.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So all
Hare
because of you.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna,
so much.
Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you, Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna,
Rama,
Prabhuji. Dandavat
Rama Hare Hare.
Prabhuji.
Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare